time, a wonderful Christmas time.
Welcome back, Daily Show. Man, I thought I had more song bed than that. I was dying on the vine there, so I figured let's just go ahead and come back. I didn't even get the lower third set. Alrighty, welcome in. Overnight warming location. That was kind of dry. I don't like coming in without music, you know?
It's okay. Next time.
Isaac, you're looking like I let you down here.
Yeah, I was really hoping to jam in if we need to.
Well, I'm glad to have you both in the studio today, and no better time to talk about the owl, seriously, than right now because of the way that the weather's been lately, and you guys' efforts are, really just needed, especially at this time of the year, and I'm sure right off the bat to activate and then to stay active for a few days is, really made some volunteers tired, to say the least. Where should we start today?
Well, we chose to come on today because it's Giving Tuesday, so it's global giving movement on the day after the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So it did kind of work out well that I think it's on our minds that it's cold out. It's hard for everyone, let alone if you don't have a place to stay and be safe. So so I'm do development and fundraising for the Owls, and Isaac has been a volunteer with the Owls from the very beginning and is a site lead for Alton, so he knows all the ins and outs and can talk about what actually happens at the Owl, as well as why supporting the Owl through volunteering and advocacy and fundraising is really important.
So the audience is going to find out today too that I'm going to learn twice that it's Giving Tuesday, because at 8:30 I had to tape an interview and I'm like, oh yeah, it's because Thanksgiving came so late, this year.
Yes, I know. It feels like it's like, yeah.
Well, now, you're right, though, Martha. You guys do such great work at the Owl. Everyone does, and it's a huge effort. And I was just actually talking to Dave Berger with Community Christian, and just a little bit of, that work, and Tyler, and all the work that he does. But really, from a team approach to grow it the way that the Owl's grown to multiple locations, it's a great thing, but also a somber thing, because it showcases that immense need for having, operations really just throughout the Metro East. Yeah. Well, and, how can we help? Let's start with that, because Giving Tuesday, I know that is the big day, but throughout the winter months and throughout the year, we can help support too in various fundraising opportunities, and also through various volunteerism opportunities too.
Yeah, it's great. One of the things I think that we always in dire need of is just more volunteers. Yeah. If having a large number of folks available and ready to come in when we activate, because as you just mentioned, like we're now going into, I think, our 4th activation, and we've got 2 or 3 more coming up. People are already starting to get tired, and so having fresh bodies there. But again, just like I know it's Giving Tuesday, and I hate always doing that, like, give us money. But if folks aren't willing to or aren't able to volunteer, we can always use donations, because we need things like sidewalk salt, bottled water, snacks, just to get us through that night, because it's a long, cold night, and sometimes just having something to munch on can be really helpful.
Well, and too, that's a really good point, because while everyone else is, staying inside and doing, what they can and staying off the roads, your volunteers and everyone else is trying to get to the warming locations to make sure that service is still provided for. And I'm sure, all the help with salt and food and things like that go a long way.
Yeah, when we activate each night, it's not just about like we show up and we just jump in. Like it's usually a full day leading up process. We're checking our volunteers. We're making sure like sidewalks are shoveled. We're even offering sometimes to like plow out our volunteers so they can get in. Sometimes we've had folks go out and just like shovel driveways so people can get there. And so it's a long and tedious process that usually starts about 8 a.m. the day before.
And so I'm assuming tonight you will be operating?
Yep, we are looking at, we haven't officially made the announcement yet to about noon, but looking at the weather, we're going to be open tonight, probably tomorrow, probably even the next day, because once we get that below 20 degrees or 20 degrees or below, we're on the phone, we're getting ready and gearing up for that night.
And then, just for folks too, if someone's power goes out even, or, if it's a situation like that, is the OWL a good opportunity for them as well?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just for folks that are experiencing homelessness.
And I think that's a good note to make too.
Yeah, it's for anybody that's experiencing experiencing heat insufficiencies. So whether your power's out, whether it's not functioning enough, come in. We've got a place to sleep. We've got food. We'll feed you. We have community. It's not just come in and sleep. We spend time with you. We get to know you. We build that community around our neighbors, no matter who they are.
It's so important. Well, and I think it's just a really great thing to know, too, that on Sunday, December 7th is Paint for a Cause, and this can benefit the OWL.
Yes. There's a lot of things coming up. We have that coming up in Edwardsville. Germania has asked the Owls to be the beneficiary of their Roundup campaign, like all winter. So at all the locations,
That's a big one.
you've got the opportunity to round up. So we're really grateful for that. Coming up in January, I believe January 16th, Old Bakery Beer Company will be doing a Drink for a Cause night again for the Owls. So there's a lot of businesses and organizations in the area, whether it's Edwardsville, Granite, or Alton, that really support the Owls and help us with not just with the funds that we get that way, but just the advocacy and showing that they really support what the Owls are doing.
1,000%. And, on top of that, too, it is Giving Tuesday. And if I could, are you guys a 501c3?
Yes.
Uncle Sam loves us to love the OWL. And you can do so by going to the Facebook page and clicking on that link. And as you see, it takes you right to getting connected with the overnight warming locations, whether or not you want to do today only for $50, $100, $100,000, or if you want to do monthly. And those monthly donations really go a long way, where if you can, maybe take what you would spend a week on coffee, which now is probably $100, but no, in all reality, maybe $25, and do that monthly. That goes a heck of a long way for the overnight warming locations, I assume. Yeah,
monthly donations are great. We are kind of starting an initiative calling that our Sustaining Neighbors.
Really
and
cool.
So, I think we all think about when it's cold out right now, we want to give, but planning happens all year round. And so when we have that dependable source of revenue, or just like that, those incoming donations, then we can make those plans, whether it's making plans for trainings, paying utility bills. We have the churches that host the Owls, but that we do contribute to the utilities, because heating those additionally is a big strain. So there's a lot of, it's the snacks and the food, but there's all kinds of ongoing bigger expenses that the OWL is taking on.
I never even thought about that, because you're right, those are big spaces to power on throughout the night and everything else. And Isaac, what are you seeing at the Alton locations, right now, specifically with that being in your wheelhouse? Are you seeing a specific need for something just as we start the season besides the volunteers? Is there a
Yeah, I mean, we were always in need of something. The first time we activated, we have an intake system that we use, and our chargers ran off for the iPads, and so I had to run and scramble to get chargers for iPads so that we could go in. But I mean, things like salt and bottled water, I always come back to that, because those go a long way. We will go through cases of bottled water on a nightly basis. A lot of people want to give like coats and jackets and things, and those are always fantastic, but it's a lot of those perishable items that are really absolutely needed on an ongoing basis to help us sustain through the winter.
Absolutely. And, on top of that, too, what's the best way to reach out to volunteer? I know there was a form at one point in time. Is that still available?
Yes. And we have that right now. We're using a link tree, but I can make sure you have that. There's a different volunteer form for each sites, whether it's Alton, Edwardsville, or Granite City. And so there's a variety of ways to volunteer. We have different shifts.
Look at that.
Thank you.
I'm getting good at my job here.
Good job, CJ.
Yes. So you can choose the location that is convenient to you.
There's Alton, Edwardsville, Granite City. And then I like the donate to supplies to each of the locations with Amazon wish list.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people really want to feel connected to what they're giving, so they want to donate a cot or waterproof boots. And so this way people know that they're giving what will actually be used. So I love how when people want to give things, but we want to just make sure that if someone's going to the trouble of purchasing things, spending their money, bringing it to the Owls, we want to make sure that it'll get used. So we just want to make it easy so people know what's actually needed.
Really cool. Well, and I just think it's such a great thing, and see how it's grown over the years since it's been open. It's got to be really refreshing for all the individuals that have been building it up, and everyone on the team to really see that support coming back to you.
Yeah. We had the very first time we ever opened, I remember we had about 13 people there. Last night we had 42.
Wow.
And almost consistently we're up in those 40s to 50s.
Are you really?
In Alton alone. That's not even counting Granite City in Edwardsville.
Can I ask you what your highest volume location is?
Alton is our highest. We have our highest capacity at Alton, and we also have the highest need in Alton. That's typically where we get the highest numbers on each activation night.
Really? Very interesting. You guys had a moment to take a quick break with me?
Yeah.
9:20. Yeah, are we good?
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure. 9:27. A little bit of change. More Daily Show conversations come your way next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Shepherds brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star.
Secrets when I found the album, like, okay. That was an underrated Christmas album, I thought. Mary Cordes said that yesterday, too. I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
The library knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody knows the library.
That's right. You know, back in with overnight warming locations, you guys can reach out, overnightwarminglocations@gmail.com if you need more information or just want to say, how can I write a $40,000 check to keep it going on? But in all seriousness, do you know what would be the best monthly gift in the eyes of, I know every gift's great, but is there a dollar amount that says, for this we can take care of, X, Y, and Z. And I only ask that just because it's always a fascinating number.
Yeah, it is. And I should have brought my notes on that because I know I've done that before. So I'm going to think about what I can even, like if it's even the supplies that we provide, if it's $40 or $50, buy some good waterproof boots. I'm trying to think what it costs per night for the owl to be open, and these are all things that I should have had written down.
No, I should have put you on the spot. What about the emergency, like the blankets that I see, like they're not like the aluminum ones? Are those good ones? Like the thermo blankets? Are those good donations?
Yeah, it's going to help because when we think about the folks that we serve are carrying everything they own with them, and so being able to pack that down is great. Those big fluffy blankets are they're really warm, but man, those are hard to carry around and get around. So those are always great. The hand warmers are perfect because we buy lots and lots of hand warmers. Those little things you stick in your pockets to keep your hands warm.
Well, just things like that. If someone's at the store or on Amazon, get some of those things, or go to the link tree and just go through the wish list and really help contribute that way. I'm sure the partnerships over the years have really helped too with getting folks that are there that are experiencing homelessness the resources they need to maybe stay warm throughout the day and all of that, because it's great to have it at night when it gets brutally cold, but sometimes it barely warms up out there in the middle of the day. So to get those folks to to proper locations, I'm sure is important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of our greatest resources is our volunteers, because they are connected in all these different ways in our communities. We've got volunteers from RiverBend Family Ministries. We have them from Centerstone, from Chestnut. We have all these folks that are really connected. The Hope Center. That while we're there and we're having those conversations, we can talk about like what are the next steps to getting folks connected to the resources, because that's actually part of our mission as well. It's get inside, get connected, and get well. So
really cool. Well, and you guys saw the link tree, and we're gonna make sure we link that on an article on RiverBender.com. As of now, what else can we do to help support the OWL?
If there's, like, we talked about volunteering, we talked about donating, but advocacy is huge. So even following on Facebook, sharing posts, talking to a neighbor, just letting people know what the OWL does is really important. I think that it's such our biggest resource. As much as we need funding, people really are our biggest resource, whether it's volunteers or just having people support us. And I think something that's fantastic is, I think every time, like I know in January when we had a whole bunch of activations night after night, those are the times where we get so many people asking what's needed. We get restaurants that are just like, they want to, it's so amazing.
That is really cool.
Restaurants want to provide a meal. So the more you can just like get behind the work and help, and patron those businesses that are supporting the OWL, we love that as well. I think it's just that community that's built through the volunteers and all the different supporters.
Absolutely. If you guys have the opportunity, become a monthly supporter today, or just reach out and contribute in some way. I just love seeing the way the community grows around it. It's so cool. Like you said, that's really just...
And any amount is, it's like every time I see a donation come in, it doesn't matter how much it is, that I'm just so excited to see that someone else, was inspired to give. I
just think it's a really great thing. And whether or not it's Paint for a Cause, which is coming up in just a few short days, that's December the 7th, 6:30 to 8:30 at Restore Decor in Edwards, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I missed something in an interview. That's why I was making sure. That's Restore Decor in Edwardsville, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And then Giving Tuesday, and stop by Germania.
Yes.
That's right.
There you go. Oh, and Old Bakery coming up soon.
Yeah.
How about that? This is so cool.
Right?
Any final thoughts before I say goodbye for now?
Just, I hope folks are staying warm out there, and think of us on those nights that it's bitter cold out there, because our volunteers are out there braving the elements to making sure that people aren't dying out there on the streets. Absolutely.
Seriously. And to 9:33, we'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. You stay there, and I'll be here in the studio. If my voice does not go today, I'm starting to get nervous. We'll take a quick break and come back with more next.